the opportunities here are just so good. So when we left, it was kind of like, shall we go for a change, or should we do this for another 40 years? I think when you realize, actually, you've done it for you, and then people will be happy for you, and if they're not happy for you, then that's on them. So I think you've only get one shot at life. We're all Brits. We started Gweilo back in 2015, and we wanted to bring that sort of British brewing culture to Hong Kong and brew for Hong Kong and Asia. Everyone has to find their own identity, and for us that is, Hong Kong is our home. This latest limited edition we've done is a collaboration with a shop called Gweilo Tea Shop, which has been around for 3 or 4 generations, producing sugarcane juice amongst other teas. It's telling that sort of story of collaboration between Western culture and Eastern culture. So this is a rice lager base with a bit of the sugarcane juice mixed in for the brew, and then we add some honeysuckle essence as well, which gives it a really floral aroma. We're always looking to experiment and try something new. We did not too long ago, we did a Danta stout, which was quite fun. I miss the memory of home. I moved here before I had kids, and then I've had 3 kids here. My wife's family were originally from the UK too, but they moved to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and then to Hong Kong in '97. So they've been here for quite a while. I've been here, as I say, almost 9 years now. But I miss memories of it. But I think in reality, life has moved on for everybody, and I think what I missed probably doesn't exist anymore anyway. I don't regret it for a second. It was, I think, probably we got married and we had, as I say, 6 months before I started work, and she was about a month after me, so we had 6 great months going around Japan, Thailand, doing the trips that I'd never done before, and really exploring Asia, which I loved. It was a perfect amount of time. By that time, I think we both got a little bit bored, so I was chomping at the bit to do something. I think that's the other nice thing, is everyone's in the same boat. Anyone who's moved from abroad to Hong Kong is willing to help anyone who's just moved here. Whereas in London, that would sound crazy. If someone says, someone's just moved to London, would you meet them for a drink? You'd be like, no. Whereas in Hong Kong, for some reason, everyone's far more open to saying like, yes, of course. I think there's a really strong sort of expat community in terms of helping people, especially who are moving career or trying to start something up here. I think everyone thinks of Hong Kong, especially if you've not been here, is you see the central Victoria Harbour and the sort of skyline, etc. A bit of a concrete jungle, but then what you don't really appreciate is the new territories and the Lantau Island and the amount of green space and beaches, and it is something that is not talked about enough. One thing that I find so frustrating for me is with the rents being so high here. Young talent, so entrepreneurial chefs or who want their stage to sort of do something like a pop-up or a residency or a food truck. There's food trucks, but there's only about a handful, and they're all sort of government tendered out. And I think that's kind of the one cultural shock of food culture. I was like, Hong Kong's, like a food capital of the world. It does surprise me there's not more facility for, young, not just in F&B, but in a lot of industry, of promoting young entrepreneurial minds to try and do something. This is the other thing, a bit of a culture shock, but my wife grew up here with a very broad diversity of culture, whereas I grew up in the UK and it's a very sort of deep understanding of one culture. And that gets ingrained in you so much that your sort of boundaries and parameters are set, and there's some great things about that, but also it sort of can close you off to other things. So I think it's just unloading that sort of baggage that you build up over your sort of childhood and those core values, and then you move to a city where those aren't necessarily sort of the norm.